So vibrato, it's an important part of saxophone tone and technique. It's not something we want to have in our playing all the time. It's something we want to have total control over. How fast or slow the vibrato is, how wide or narrow the vibrato is. Here's fast, narrow vibrato. Here's fast, wide vibrato. Here's slow, wide vibrato. Narrow vibrato. And by combining all these techniques, we can create, pretty much any kind of sound that we want to emulate, whether that's the way that Cannonball ends his phrases, or the way that Coltrane fills his sound up, or the way some more modern players use vibrato in their playing. Classical and jazz saxophone vibrato technique varies pretty widely. If you listen to classical saxophonists, like in this example, we hear a different style of vibrato. It's typically more uniform, typically a fast, wide vibrato, whereas in jazz, we hear pretty much every player has their own style, their own sound. Many players use zero vibrato. Many use it as a kind of way to taper off a phrase nicely. It's not as built into the sound as it might be in a classical player's approach to vibrato. No matter what style you're playing, we still have to have the same basic fundamental techniques for actually creating the vibrato with our jaw. So great vibrato starts with a great tone, great embouchure and air support. So if you haven't already, check out my tone video here and come back later for vibrato. We play a long tone and then keep everything the same. The voicing, the throat, the embouchure is all going to stay put. All we're going to do is move the actual jaw. So your jaw is going to come away from the reed. The bottom teeth are going to come away from the reed, leaving that lip to do more work, which is why the embouchure and long tones are so important. So here is what I mean by that. That was on middle C. Now I'm going to play it on high C. Once you can do that, once you're able to get a pretty significant range from hopefully 5 to 10 cents sharp, if you're looking at your tuner, down to maybe 20 cents flat or more, maybe you can even bend down a half step. I'm going to play G and F sharp. Then I'm going to try and bend my G to F sharp. So you want that kind of range, especially in the upper register. How do we develop that into consistent vibrato with, total control over the speed and the width of that vibrato? So our first exercise is rhythms, vibrato rhythms with the metronome. High G is a great note to start on saxophone just because it's easy to control and easy to get a good sound. So play your high G. We're going to put the metronome on quarter notes at 60. I'm using the Sound Corset app on my phone. And we're going to try and bend the notes so that on every quarter note, da, we're in control of that. So we're taking an entire quarter note just to get from the top of the pitch range to the bottom of the pitch range. Now we're going to double that so it's an eighth note. Now if the sound is changing a lot throughout the range like this, like the pitch wants to go away, that's all about air support. I'm just going to squeeze the diaphragm, push that air through the horn. And try to keep it really even, like a sine wave, so it's not bouncing around. Next, we're going to do triplets. And you guessed it, 16th notes is next. Now, that's not musical at all. It's just an exercise. It's to develop the control, these muscles so that you're keeping the sound even, your tone is consistent while the jaw is moving. So next is to actually develop how to use it in a musical context, or at least we're moving in that direction. Our second exercise is playing a long tone for 2 beats, followed by 4 beats of vibrato, 16th notes, 1 half step lower. So if you start on G, the next note's going to be F sharp with vibrato. And then it's going to be F sharp even, F with vibrato. Now here's F sharp and F. That's teaching us to switch the vibrato on and off, which is what we're doing in an actual musical context. The next step would be to use vibrato in a musical context. So find an etude that has long notes in it, a slower etude. So to sort of make up a little fake etude here, we're just going to play the last 4 notes of a scale, D, E, F sharp, G, arriving at the top note of the scale and putting some vibrato on that note. Let's do another key, A flat. So that's closer to actually how we'll use vibrato in a musical context. I hope you all enjoyed learning vibrato. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'm happy to answer questions or even make a follow-up video about any of these technique topics. If you're enjoying my videos, please do subscribe. And if you want to give the video a like and comment, I appreciate that even more. I recently launched a Patreon. It's brand new. If you'd like to support me on there for $5 a month, when you join, you can actually send me a video or audio sample of your playing. I'll give you some feedback. I'm offering a limited number of spaces for weekly lessons on Zoom. Patreon supporters will have first dibs on those lesson slots. You'll also get to see my videos a little earlier and some behind the scenes content and a larger variety of practice PDFs and other helpful learning resources. See you next time.